Welcome to Heaping Spoonful, a twice-monthly conversation with restaurateurs, chefs, growers, and others who have helped generate the legends associated with eateries across the Mid-South. The team at Benny Keith is proud to sponsor this adventure with the goal of preserving the stories that have helped cultivate an amazing food scene across the Mid-South. So kick back and enjoy a Heaping Spoonful.
All right, everybody out there in podcast land, it is the first or third Tuesday of the month, and that means Heaping Spoonful. Let me tell you something. So we talk about relationships like all the time in this industry, and I'm very lucky to know these lovely women sitting across the table from me today. I'm happy to call them my friends. And they've been on the podcast before, but now they're gluttons for punishment. So they have a lot of new things going on right now. And I figured that we could, let's touch base on some of that stuff and see what you have going on. So I have Jill McDonald and Wendy Schay of the Croissanterie. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, hello.
How's everything going? Happy Tuesday.
Oh, yes, Tuesday. Is it
Tuesday it is.
Tuesday it is. Happy Tuesday. Oh, yeah. It's so funny because we have, us at Camp Brood, we have a lot of stuff going on. Every day is something different. But you just acquired a new building.
We did. Yes. A large building.
A very large building.
We did.
Yes. So I definitely want to talk about that. Well, first of all, I remember, and I've probably said this before. We had I had Tailor Made Cafe on, and I said, "Man, what made you get into the restaurant business?" And he said, "Insanity." And I was like, I'm going to use that because that's what it is. Everything's a passion project. Everything's a passion project. And obviously you can tell, if you people out there in podcast land have ever been to the Croissanterie, you know that there's a lot of passion that goes in that product over there, a lot. And I know firsthand because we've had these conversations before. But now you're extending the passion, okay? And other than insanity, what was the brainchild behind that? Was it expansion, or just like we can't feed enough over here at the Croissanterie, we want to do something different, or like what are your thoughts behind that?
Well, for me, I would say it was the need for space.
Oh, okay.
And that's kind of been our theme since the beginning, since we started at farmers markets and then went into a food truck. And then the 1,600 square foot spot we're in now is just not big enough.
Yeah.
We have 14 employees right now working in this space. 4 just in the bakery, which if you've been back there, it's a closet.
Yeah.
5 if I'm back there harassing them. But this is going to give us almost 6,000 square feet.
Wow.
Let's move. The back building, which used to be the market, closed off to the public. It'll be just the bakery. And so we'll do all the baking back there. We'll do all the croissants.
Hold on, I'm going to interrupt just a second. The building is the old Capers Restaurant. I don't think we mentioned that.
And where is it located?
It's not even a block from where we currently are. It's 14502 Cantrell Road. I get the address. It's all confused. So, okay.
But need for space to answer that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great when it's open.
When it's open. Do we have production, or do we have that? I hate that when somebody says like, "What's your timeline when you open them?" I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know because something else is going to happen.
I think Kylie the other day gave the best answer because we thought it would be July, maybe August, September. She said October, November, or December, sometime this year.
Yeah, I think that's the best.
Yeah, that's kind of where we are at this point.
We're hoping for October, but things change, things pop up.
Yeah.
We'll see.
For sure. I always give those answers too when somebody says like, "Hey chef, how long do I cook this?" Until it's done.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kinda
Unless
sorta.
you're asking for specifics. If you want temperature, then you're going to cook it the one. But other than that, we're going to cook it until it's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the earliest, we think it's going to be maybe middle to late October. That's at the earliest, pending things that are uncovered during the construction process.
Okay.
So it needed, it ended up needing quite a bit more work than the initial walkthroughs thought.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha. Like big items or just...
we had to put in 2 new vent hoods because we have 2 kitchens. They were out of code, so we had to go in and do that. We had to pull up floors in the kitchen. They were just in terrible, horrible shape.
Was there surprises on them?
A few, yeah, a few.
New floors led to new walls.
Yeah. So
But the restaurant previously was there for, 28 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there for a while.
So you're going to find some things.
Yeah, for sure. It's like a lot of those old restaurants, the front and stuff has like so much character and stuff. And I mean, and the back has its own, for sure. Now before, before was the market in the back. So you're going to do 2 kitchens out of the back, but no market.
No.
Right?
We'll
You
have...
guys are going to do enough to go out of there. Like,
We will. We'll have grab-and-go items in the main restaurant. We're going to have some refrigerators up there near the pastry case to where we'll have, like, grab-and-go chicken salad, some pre-made meals, whole quiches, whole cakes, whole pies, things like that. So there'll be some grab-and-go.
pints of soup and
that's awesome.
stuff like that. And I mean, and it'll still be have that market atmosphere to it that Capers was so well known for. That was probably one of the biggest questions that we got when we, when we announced that we were, are y'all still going to do the market? We're still going to be able to get stuff. And yeah, you will. But it's going to be
It'll be your market.
Yeah, it'll be our market. Yeah. So, but what was the previous market is now going to be 100% bakery, Wendy's Bakery.
That's awesome.
And so it's and that takes us to, her bakery is going to be about the same size as our current location.
There you go.
Almost 1,600 square feet of just bakery kitchen.
With
Can't wait.
2 walk-ins, immense amounts of storage. And it will give us the opportunity to offer classes again. We're going to offer classes that we will teach also, and maybe hopefully open it up to some other chefs or people to come in and also teach classes.
I tell you what, sign me up. Teach me how to freaking bake something. 'Cause I am crap in a bakery. I mean, I can make a decent chocolate chip cookie or something like that, but I'm not doing what y'all do. Yeah.
And it'll be more than just bakery items. I mean, but we'll be able to offer our gingerbread house classes, decorated sugar cookies. Obviously, Wendy will teach croissants, which we did at the culinary school when we were out there. Sourdough bread, cinnamon rolls, and you name it. We'll be able to do it. And then on the savory side, we'll do stock soups and sauces classes. We'll do how to break down a whole beef tenderloin and what to do with it instead of just roasting it whole.
Yeah.
Maybe offer some knife skill classes. And we have this, what we call miniature foods class, where you take the big foods and turn them into like appetizer sizes.
That is so awesome. I didn't know that you did that. Like, I knew that you did classes before, but this is like, to me, that's like next level type stuff. Stuff that, I tell you, like when I went to culinary school, so I went to Art Institute of Philadelphia, and whenever anybody asked me like what your favorite class was, I was like, in part of our soups and stocks classes was also, they did like ovens and like the inner workings of an oven and like, you have a fryer and stuff like that, like learning how to properly, take it apart and that kind of stuff. And what everybody doesn't understand, well, a lot of people out there don't understand, is like how much actually goes into the kitchen. This is like you're a marketing person, you are a designer, there's just so much there, But soups, stocks, and I forget what they called that third part of it, but soups and stocks, that's,
Yeah.
I think that you can, not everybody agrees with me on this, but I think that you can judge a cook by their soup.
I agree.
Yeah. I think that's just the build of the flavors and how it comes together. And, other people have other things. But So, all right, new restaurant. All right. So, me, when I hear new restaurant, when I hear new space, what else is new? So, I'm familiar with the menu at the Croissanterie, and obviously, I know there's going to be more of that stuff. But are you going to be doing things like you're like, well, we can't do this over here because we don't have the space. Like, but once we get the bigger space, this is what we're going to be doing. Can we disclose any of that?
Coffee.
Coffee?
We were in the Little Rock Technology Park in the little coffee shop down there for about a year, and everybody's, oh, we hate you closed, and we hate that we closed too. And we didn't close because business was not bad. We closed just because of the way things happened. Our lease came up. Our two baristas that we had down there had both decided to pursue other options. One went to Wyoming to work at a resort out there at the Grand Tetons. The other one got an opportunity to go to Maine and do like an apprenticeship at a coffee shop up there. And then we picked up the Capers location. And so it came down to deciding, do we want to duplicate all of this equipment for Capers by having to purchase it? If you've ever purchased an espresso machine, it's not cheap by any means.
Not at all. I've looked into that before, and I was, whoa.
I mean, anywhere from, $8,000 to $12,000, potentially more, depending on what you do. So it all just kind of happened at the same time. And so we decided to close the technology park. And the bad part about it is that we were just getting busier and busier and busier.
It was picking up, yeah.
Yeah. And had we known that it was going to take this amount of time to get Capers open, we probably would have stayed and, found a couple more staff members and,
right.
That type of thing. But so we are going to have full coffee at the new location.
Nice.
And with that full coffee is going to, what we are calling the coffee lounge, because Capers has a fireplace in it.
Ah.
And so where the fireplace is, we're going to have some couches and some armchairs and a banquette. And with that, which is kind of my passion thing, is we're going to have a culinary library for all of our cookbooks and everything that'll be flanking the fireplace. And people will be able to come in and pull books off and, get recipes out of them. And,
that's really cool. Nobody's doing that. That's really cool.
And I think that probably comes from our teacher aspect, and we're so passionate about trying to do our part to help grow this industry. The industry's only going to get better and grow if we foster that. And doing this is, offering that information to people that, you can't really go anywhere and get the collection of culinary instruction books and cookbooks and culinary history books that we have, not in one location. I mean, and it really kind of spans the spectrum as to what we have, because we have so many instructional books from when we were, teaching out at the culinary school, and then, and then just our personal things that we've, that we purchase for ourselves because, we're both food nerds to a certain extent. And
that's the one thing that I love about the two of you is, so I worked under this great chef once, and he said, I'm going to give you a few things of advice, but one of the things that he said to me was not only always be a student, but always be a teacher. It's like, I worked under chefs that always like keep everything so close to the chest, and I'm like, these are my secrets, blah, blah, blah. And that's not the two of you. You're like, no, we're going to show you how to do it the right way. Like, we're going to do our thing either way. And this, but we'll show you the right way to do it. And, and I think that's pretty badass. I think that's awesome, because there's not a lot of people out there doing that, what you guys are doing over there.
I mean, it's food. And I think that philosophy probably kind of comes from, I grew up in Southeast Arkansas. I'm from here. I've always lived in Arkansas. And, but my past is very deep in kind of some food history. And, I grew up in the same town as both my grandparents, both sets of my grandparents, and they cooked every day. And my mother put a meal on the table every day. She still cooks almost every day. And I can just hear, I have all these recipes from my grandmothers, and I can hear my mother saying, well, I made Mama's soup, but it doesn't taste like Mama's. And you can make it exactly the same as whoever did it. and it still may not taste exactly the same because of the way you add the ingredients or how long you cook something or whatever. So I have no fear of anybody coming in my kitchen. They'll be like, "Will you give me the recipe for this?" Absolutely, because it's flavor is it varies so vastly from person to person.
Yeah, it really does.
So there's no fear in doing that, and that's how you grow better culinarians.
Yeah.
By giving them the confidence to take something that's trustworthy, that's tried and true, and they can take it and recreate it, and then make it their own.
So, we're talking books, talk about the art of fermentation. In the beginning of that, he talks about hand taste, and he talks about like you can have the same recipe. This is your grandmother's recipe. It's the exact same recipe, but it just tastes so much better when your grandmother makes it. It's because it's from your mom or your grandmother. It's made with love, Stuff always tastes better when your mom makes it for you. And he calls it hand taste. And I think it's true, for sure.
So nerd out right here. Okay. So it's called soy ma. It's from Korea. That's what they say. That's how you make kimchi. And it translates to hand taste. And those recipes are passed down generationally. And I got it from Chef's Table with Ann Kim that has Pizzeria Lola in Minneapolis. And she talks about that in there. And that was her connection to food and making pizza was the pizza dough is that it's all about touch and it's all about feel and it's all about that soy ma, that way it feels in your hand. And so, there's just a lot. You can delve so deep into the different things behind food and but don't be afraid of it by any means, and don't be afraid to share your knowledge. Your crew's not going to benefit from not gaining that knowledge.
Yeah.
I had an old boss that gave us this. He was all into, reading books and improving the manager and improving this and doing that. But there was this one book that he gave us, and it was the push-up philosophy. You yourself cannot move up if there's not somebody to replace you, because somebody has to be able to do your job. So you push up from the bottom.
Yeah.
The person beneath you, you teach them everything you know, so that way you can move up into a position and they can move into yours.
It's awesome.
So,
we
we can't take a day off if there's not somebody to do our job.
There's got to be somebody.
So, obviously we're not really going to go a whole lot higher in what we do promotional wise, but we'd like to take a day off every now and then.
And we've got a great crew right now. We've really built them up, and we've been able to leave to go do wedding dress shopping and things, and meet with contractors and lots of things. And so that push-up philosophy does work.
I would 100% agree with that. 100. And I'm a big fan of like seeing somebody have like those aha moments or just those good moments. Like the person who's like really been struggling on the grill for a while, but has been like showing up to work every day and doesn't get discouraged, and boom. And then they have that one service where they just kill it. It just makes me so happy to see that kind of stuff. I love that. And I love, people, maybe one day people will talk about the way that we're talking about our chefs now. And like, I worked under Jill and Wendy over there at Croissanterie, and they, blah, blah, blah. To me, that's a lot.
And we know that, and we tell our guys, we're like, we know that this is probably not, the end all be all for you to stay here.
Yeah.
Flipping eggs and cooking bacon. I mean, that's not what you want to spend your time doing. But at the same time, when you do decide to go somewhere else, we want those people, if you have Croissanterie on your resume or on your application, they want to go, okay, we can trust that.
Yeah.
So, and that's what a lot of it is just trust.
Yeah. It really is. It really is. Now, when we talk about the new spot and we talk about, you were talking about furniture, there's so much that goes into this that nobody knows. We talk about furniture. We were talking about 2 new hood vents. There's a wedding dress thrown in there somewhere. You You guys have a lot going. You have a lot going on right now, and it's funny too because we get contractors involved, and there's so much stuff that we can't do on our own, and that we have to rely on other people. But I mean, you got to get creative with some of this stuff too. So like, with our spot, we're looking at marketplace, and we're looking at different furniture here and there. We're kind of those kind of people as far as like. I'll pick up something on the side of the road. I don't care, whatever. If it's clean and if I got to put some work into it, whatever. I'll do that kind of stuff. When we talk about like decor and stuff over there, the fireplace room sounds so intriguing to me. And my wife, she's going to be excited when she hears that. She's that person for sure. What else you have going on over? So you got the coffee lounge. What else is happening over there?
We are enclosing an area of the restaurant to make a private dining room. We're going to make it larger, and so it'll be completely closed off, and it'll have privacy doors, so people can rent that out for meetings, for private dinners, different things like that. We have a couple of groups have already reached out who want to plan to meet twice a month, and that's going to be a great space that we are able to close off. Someone can rent that. It'll be open when it's not rented. We have the patio. The outdoor seating. We're very excited about that. We've increased the seating out there. We're also going to put some patio seating at the old front entrance.
Oh, nice.
So we're moving the entrance from that Cantrell side to the parking lot side.
Okay.
And so we're going to make it ADA compliant, which right now it's kind of difficult. They have to go up through the patio to a side door to get into the building. We're going to put a ramp there at the parking lot and make that emergency door entrance a new entrance. So there'll be double doors there with an awning and our sign on the side of the wall.
That's awesome.
And the old front porch is going to be some covered seating. So when it's raining, we can still have some outdoor seating.
That is awesome. As far as the private room goes, how many people?
Right now we're thinking about 40 standard
nice.
seating, depending on the arrangement and the meeting that they're doing at that moment. If it's food-based, if they're sitting down to eat, probably about 40 people. If it's classroom style and just like a buffet style lap eating, we could probably do more.
Right.
So, good.
And we'll have a TV in there to be able to hook computers and things up to have an
presentation or whatever they need to do.
And it was currently 2 small rooms, and then there was a cutout between them. So if one was being used privately, you couldn't use the other one because there's no privacy.
Oh, right.
But we're taking that wall out completely, and then, like Wendy said, closing it up.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's really. Now, you guys already do a lot of catering, don't you? Yeah. What would you say, like, percentage of your business? It's like.
I would say right now it's only somewhere between probably 15 to 20% because of our storage issues.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We're real limited on our storage, and we have people reach out to us, hey, can you do my wedding? It's for 200 people, and we're like, oh, hold on now.
Yeah.
Because where are we going to put the food for that? So we generally don't take those size things. We will be able to do those now.
That's awesome.
We get to go to. We'll have lots of dry storage between both the bakery and the restaurant. But the biggest kicker is our current walk-in is maybe 6 by 6. It's teeny tiny. You hit your head walking into it if you don't duck down.
Right.
And we have 3 walk-ins at the new restaurant, one of which is 12 by 12. And then another one, and that's in the main kitchen. And then Wendy has 2 walk-ins in the bakery, both of which are good size to be able to roll carts in and out.
That's awesome.
And, you could walk in it, not hit your head. That's a given. And they all 3 work, and they've all been checked out, and, we're excited.
The kitchens are almost ready.
Yeah,
They're almost there.
Yeah.
It's the front of the house that's the holdup right now. But.
Right.
But we're real lucky that really and truly we haven't had to do just a whole lot. Most of it is cosmetic. Like we don't have to do any floors.
Right.
We're changing the bathrooms and making them ours.
Right.
But we're not having to change any footprints or anything like that. The biggest thing is changing the entrance.
Okay.
From the front to the side, and then taking that wall out. The rest of it is paint, and changing out lights and. that type of thing.
So if I was going to sell you a lighting package, when we did Brood, it's funny. So Tina, shout out to Tina. When you walk in and you see those, like the herringbone on the side, Tina did all that. She had stencils made, and then she went and did it because they were going to charge us like $11,000 for like wallpaper. And I was like, what? $11,000 for wallpaper? Is this a joke? No, that's cool.
And that was, what, 5-6 years ago?
Yeah. The price has probably gone up now, right? Talk about lighting, paint, and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know how much you two are of like do-it-yourself type stuff. Listen, there's a lot of things in this world that I can do, and I can do okay. And to the point where like somebody's going to look at it and be like, yeah, whatever, you know. But there is 2 things in this world that I hate doing. One's raking leaves, and the other one's painting. Oh, God, I hate painting. I don't know why. I loathe painting.
Because it's tedious.
It probably, yeah, that's probably what it is.
And, you know, and when we got into this, go ahead and tell them, because we did everything at the current location.
Right.
We pretty much. And so when we moved, when we took this over, Wendy's like, go ahead and tell them.
I don't want to lift a finger.
Yeah.
I want to just hire someone to do it all.
Do it, yeah.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that anymore. We are hands-on. We are going to do several of the projects ourselves with the help of several flaky friends who we've reached out to who've just been in the restaurant, who've asked us how it's going and have offered their help and service. We've joked about having a painting party.
Yep.
People coming in there and drinking some wine that was left behind and painting some walls. But, you know, there are things that we are going to do ourselves and put our stamp on it. You know, I would love to be able to hire someone and invest, you know, $1 million into this building.
Of course.
But no, we're smarter than that.
Yeah.
We'll do some of the work ourselves. And, you know, we like to be debt free. And we were until we signed on to this. And we want to get back to that as quick as we can. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And we got so very lucky with our landlord. She's phenomenal. We talked to her on the way over here about some things that are going on, and she's done a lot of that work and that things that needed to be done, the floors and the walls, and she's taken on that. And there was one air conditioning unit of the 7 that we have that needed to be replaced, and she's taken on that, and she's kind of helping us with the parking situation because it's a small parking lot.
Right.
Kind of goes with it. There's a big parking lot surrounding it that another person owns, and but that makes it much easier for us in the long term. To have somebody great to work with, but we just it doesn't make, in our minds, and it's personal for us to put a ton of money into something that we don't own.
Yeah.
And that's just a business decision on our part.
Yeah.
To
makes total sense.
To not do that. So there's some things that we've worked with a great design group, coming up with a great design, and we have a wonderful contractor now who's really worked with us on, let us take care of this part and you guys take care of this part, and so they're doing all of they're doing all the construction things, and they are going to do the painting, because they had several years ago, the fire suppression, the sprinkler system froze when we had all that super cold weather.
Yeah.
And so they had to completely replace it and replace all the ceilings. Well, some of that ceiling stuff has become disjointed and, just from the coverings and all that. And so when they paint, they're going to repair all that stuff. So it's just, if they're going to do it, we just might as well let them do it. And, so it's just little things like that. But like we're taking on the deck. We're going to do the deck. We've already had it, cleaned and refinished, and we're going to paint the patio furniture and put all the patio furniture together. And, we're responsible for all the landscaping, and we've got a great landscaping team to come out and help us with that.
It's good to know people too. It's like you two are very much like me, where I have like a long whether it be plumbers or electricians or landscaping and stuff. I always have somebody I can call You know, they're not always available, but at least I can be like, hey, you know, somebody. You know.
And we've got a great electrician. We've got great plumbers.
Nice.
You know, and it's, you know, so that having those gives you confidence.
Yeah, for sure. I also have a couple friends back home that I'm like, hey, listen, this guy down here, he's putting this in and that in, and here are the drawings, and this is what he's going to charge me. And they'll be like, yeah, that's good. That's good. You're good. You know, so it's good to have that outlet too, for sure. For sure.
But yeah, we're going to, like Wendy said earlier, it's 6,000 square feet total between the two. And we are at our current spot. We have 50 seats inside and out, 26 inside, 24 outside to give us. And that 50 gives us the liquor license requirement. That's why we had 50. When we first opened, we had 20 seats. We had 14 inside and 6 outside.
Well, because when we opened that brick and mortar, we thought we'd keep running the food truck. And it would be more like a donut shop. People would come in there and get their pastries. And it turned into, we want full meals. And we're going to sit down and we're bringing our family of 6 every Sunday.
Right.
So we had to, you know, create some more room. And it is a little cramped. We get it. People say that a lot. But, you know, we're family style. Get to know your neighbor. But we're about to have a lot more room.
Yeah. If you go to France, that's the way it would be.
Yeah.
But yeah, the designers have it on paper to where if we wanted, which we do not want, we could have 185 seats.
That's big.
That's real big. It's real big. But during the week, hopefully the private dining room will stay, you know, rented out, and that'll be 40 seats off of that. And then between the inside and outside, we can kind of control how many, you know, the lounge is going to be pretty limited with the couches and armchairs and that type of thing.
Right.
Our goal overall is to stay around 120.
There you go.
So
That's manageable. Yeah.
you know,
Sure.
and days that it's raining outside and you can't sit on the deck, you know, then you're down to, you know, 65 or 70.
Or like when it's blistering hot.
Yeah, when it's 110 degrees outside.
It was so hot yesterday, my kids didn't even want to go to the pool.
And we had some people sitting outside yesterday.
Oh, we did too.
Yeah.
We did too. We actually, and on Saturday, it was so funny. Saturday, I'm up at the host stand, and we had a party of 4 walk in, and they heard the interaction I had with the group of people before them. And I said, you can sit outside right now, or you can wait 20 minutes. And they were like, we'll wait 20 minutes. And the next group of people were like, I can sit outside right now, or I got to wait 20 minutes. I said, yeah, we'll sit outside. And I said, okay.
Yeah.
All right. But then I got to tell the server, like, hey, you got a table outside. They're like, what?
Yeah.
Hey, we'll keep the water filled. We'll keep it going.
Right.
Sell some ice cream.
Right. Yeah. And speaking of ice cream, that's so we are going to extend our hours some. When we first get over there, we're going to start opening on Tuesdays with our hours that we have right now, 7 to 2 during the week. Saturdays and Sundays are going to go to 8 to 2.
Okay.
But then once we get over there and we get enough staff and everybody's comfortable and feels good about what we're doing, we're going to extend those hours to like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Nice.
So people can really kind of take care of that lounge and that type of thing. And we don't do that currently because, you know, our day starts at, I mean, Jamie gets there sometimes at 3:30 in the morning.
I love Jamie.
And yeah, she's awesome. But some days, depending on what's going on, she gets there at 3:30 in the morning, and if we need to be there with her, you know, we'll get there about 4:30. But to 2 o'clock, leaving at 3 o'clock, 3:15, that just makes for a long day. So if we were to stay open till 4 or 5, that would be 6 o'clock leaving.
Yeah.
And so that's why we don't currently do it. But people are always asking because we're just surrounded by schools.
Yeah.
Out there where we are, you know, hey, you know, y'all should stay open later and we can come by after school. And because a lot of people pick up at, you know, 2:50 or 3 o'clock or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so that's something that we are going to do at
Nice.
the new location.
Now, old location, gonna stay open? Okay.
No.
You're gonna just move everything over. So it's just gonna be Croissanterie new location.
Yeah.
The Croissanterie 2 or anything like that.
Well, yeah. just the Croissanterie.
But it's right there. I mean, yeah, so it's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
quite literally 2 driveways
Yeah.
from where we currently are.
That's awesome.
And we'll, we may stay over there for a minute. We may run a little bit of catering out of there, just depending, because the lease is not up until next winter.
Oh, okay.
So it just, but we have had quite a bit of interest in people possibly wanting to sublease for different things. And if anybody out there's listening, maybe a barbecue shop or something, we do have a great big smoker attached to the building in the back.
Pushing that barbecue. She wants that barbecue.
Look, I mean, come on now. Barbecue, that's jam.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean,
would
you
do
could
it.
just change concept over there and just.
You see the face. I have a notebook of concepts. So
Yeah.
different ones.
She
Like
would.
somebody else I know sitting across the table.
So many notebooks.
Yeah.
So many notebooks. I find different ones all the time. My kids are like, Dad, what is this? I'm like, what years does it say on it?
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of them. A bunch of them.
But it's kind of fun to go back and look at things that you came up with previously and,
Oh, yeah.
would I still do that today? Or, hey, look how much I've grown since
Yeah.
then. So,
Or else I would be like, what the heck was I thinking?
yeah.
Wrote that down?
Right.
Scribble that out. I don't want anybody else reading that.
How much did I had to drink that night?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, so what we're going to do, let's take a quick break. All right, and we're going to come back, and I want to talk about, obviously, we're going to keep talking about the new location, what else you got going on, but you mentioned alcohol. All right, so when we get back, I want to talk about booze and Croissanterie. All right, we're going to be right back with Heaping Spoonful.
I hope you're enjoying this episode of Heaping Spoonful. We at Benny Keith Foods enjoy talking about the food scene almost as much as we enjoy providing the top quality ingredients that help restaurateurs and chefs across the Mid-South create their magic. Now let's dive even deeper into the culinary world with your host, Chef Brian McFadden.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Heaping Spoonful. I am sitting here with Jill and Wendy from the Croissanterie, and we're talking new location. You had mentioned before about, so your seating at the first location started at 20, and then you had to get up to 50 for alcohol. So what are we thinking alcohol in a new place? Is this full bar? Is this beer and wine? Do we have an idea of that yet?
I'm not sure that we'll ever be full bar, just because that's not what we do.
Right.
We're brunch,
Yeah.
so we're mimosas and Bloody Marys, and and we have a few other things, like we have a Rocktown cold brew on our menu currently, and then we do a strawberry Bellini. We've done Palomas in the past. And it just kind of rotates through, and we're real limited because of our space. Again, that's kind of a pattern
In
here.
the new location, will there be a bar area or just like?
There is going to be a bar area, but that's where the coffee machine is going to be, and it's where the drinks will come from. And what we'll do is we'll grow that kind of that bar package to a few more specialty cocktails, and maybe do like some mimosa flights or Bloody Mary flight or something along those lines. But like, you're not going to walk up and say, "Hey, can I get a Jack and Coke?"
Yeah.
That's not what we're going to do. That's not who we're going to be. But for us, and we do this with our food. We do it with the beverage. Like for our coffee, we use Onyx, which is in Arkansas. We use Fidel. We use Nexus. We use Rosark. We use local.
Yeah.
As many local.
I love all
and
those
as
spots.
much local as we can. And so we try to feature Rocktown, and we really want to get Delta Dirt in. And we really want to,
Sweet potato vodka's good.
Yeah, I haven't had it yet, and I really wanted to get some Arkansas Brown, and it sold out in like 10 minutes or something like that. But and we do the same thing with the beer. Obviously wine is a little bit different. But just we want to offer great things, and we kind of want to rotate it out seasonally. Just because it's just better that way. And so with the food, and I mean, that's what we'll do. Instead of having 4 or 5 specialty drinks, we'll have, 10 or 12 maybe.
Yeah.
And another thing that we really kind of want to do is we kind of want to get on that mocktail
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
We're pretty good friends with Mocktail Mo, and she's done some things for our supper clubs. And we'll, hopefully we'll have 2 or 3 drinks that we can feature that'll be mocktails for people to come in and enjoy and be part of the party.
And the thing, so obviously, we all follow trends and all that stuff, and obviously mocktails trending up right now. And we weren't really sure over at Brood, like, all right, we're going to put some mocktails out. And then over a year, it ended up, we have 10 mocktails on the menu, and they all sell.
They sell.
All of them. And it's great. It's a good outlet, It's trending for for so many different reasons. It's for the longest time there, it was all right, you're a beer drinker, so then we got this NA beer. We're this NA beer is terrible. But now they're making really good NA beer, and it's kind of the same thing with the cocktails. It's it's not somebody just mixing a bunch of fruit juices together and throwing a lime in it. It's these are legit. They're legit, and they're good. Really good.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
And you don't realize that you're, if you're with a bunch of friends and you're the DD,
Yeah.
it's great for you to feel like you're part of what's going on and you're not just sitting back with a glass of water or a glass of Coke. I mean, it's an aesthetic and things are trendy and and people want to be a part and they want to be included
And more people want to be healthy nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's not drinking.
And it's, I think for a lot of people, we were having this conversation, and I have it with a lot, is that people want to be seen,
Mm-hmm.
want to be heard.
Oh, for sure.
You don't have to be over the top. You don't have to be, you don't have to give the house away.
Mm-hmm.
People just want to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to be heard.
Yeah.
They want to be included and not, pushed off to the side. And, mocktails and coffee and everything just does. And that's and okay, and we'll go ahead and make this announcement since we're talking about including everybody. What kind of croissants are you going to offer at the new place?
No.
Are you going to do it?
We will have vegan croissants.
Oh.
We will. We'll have the space in the bakery that will allow us to have a sheeter designated to non-dairy vegan croissants.
That's huge.
It is.
That's big.
It is.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes. I didn't know we were doing that today.
I got the evil eye.
For a while.
I ask all the
get you on
time,
that.
so.
And we've experimented with it. We use the non-dairy butters, and it works. The non-dairy milk, it works. Now, gluten is a whole different story. That's not
Yeah.
something that we can do. You need that in a croissant. It just doesn't work with the gluten-free stuff. But we could do the vegan. We can do that. We substitute the egg wash, and we substitute the butter and the milk on the inside, and it's fairly close to what we
Nice.
produce now. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
We've done taste tests, and if we didn't tell you, you wouldn't know the difference hardly.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. That's going to be big.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we do quite a bit of that stuff because, Wendy lived with this dairy allergy for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So our brownies are dairy free, and we do dairy free muffins and vegan muffins. And so she would have things to eat
Yeah.
at the restaurant. And we still to this day sell them. We can do, we're just real conscious of those people that have those dietary restrictions to, be able to accommodate them.
Yeah.
We want everybody to feel welcome and be included.
Yeah. So you mentioned something else in there too, which is funny. Not funny, but when there's pockets of people, craft beer lovers they're the one set of people, they're craft beer lovers, Well, we can talk about IPAs all day and quote unquote IPA people, and then there's your bourbon loving people and this and that. Bloody Marys. That is a thing. And I will say this, I can tell you Red Nuno has a good Bloody Mary. I think we have a decent Bloody Mary over at Brood. There's places that are like, do you guys make your own mix over there?
Currently, we do not. We use Bloody Darn Good.
Oh, okay.
Which is-
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's a local Bloody Mary mix. That's who we use, and we will continue to use them. Maybe it's something we get into later, but it's such a great product that that's for us. Again, we didn't do it because it comes down to storage. We have to have all the things for the Bloody Mary mix. We have to have and not that we don't have a lot of it, and we can't make room for that, but it's. Those ladies, they came to see us one day and they brought us some samples.
Yeah.
We did a tasting and it was phenomenal.
It's really good.
And they have a great story, and it was one of them's grandmother's recipe.
Yeah.
And it's good stuff. So we use it, and we'll continue to do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because Bloody Mary people, they'll come out for a Bloody Mary.
Yeah,
I mean, most is one thing, but
and they have 4 different mixes. They have the traditional, they have a spicy, they have a dill pickle, and then they have another one that's I think it's like mango pineapple.
That's what I say. I think it's something fruity.
Yeah, something fruity. I'm not sure. And we get it from Central.
you do like traditional garnish with it. You do like celery and lemon or lime or something like that.
No, we have a skewer, and for when we were doing pizza croissants, it had pepperoni and pickled okra and pepperoncinis and pickles and olives on it, and it was like a charcuterie pick.
Yeah.
And when we run pizza croissants, which we're doing right now, that pick will have that stuff on it. But the pickled okra, olives, pickles. I mean, it's very Southern and very on brand and whatnot. But that's something that we'll be able to expand on when we get next door and have the room for it.
Let's so we started off and we're saying, you're opening another location because you're a glutton for punishment. Diamond Chef? We're doing Diamond Chef again this year.
We are doing Delta Diamond Chef again this year.
Yes.
Wendy made me do it.
Oh, no. Now, when they did reach out, we did have a discussion because it was in August, and we thought we'd be open in August. And my words were, it's going to be delayed. Let's go ahead and do the competition.
Yeah.
Because it's fun. We both like to compete.
Yeah.
We're a brunch place, so we get kind of stuck in that breakfast, lunch kind of routine, and which is why we do our supper clubs. We get to think outside the box, pull down those culinary cookbooks and research, and find some things we've not done recently and learn some new techniques. But yeah, we love to compete. It's a lot of fun.
I think I kind of equate like food with music a lot, where it's like you are never going to learn all of it. And somebody's always doing something new. So you're just constantly learning and doing new things. When we do our different like dinners at Brood, I always try to like grab something and be like, I've never done this before. So I'll try it out on 50 people.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's try
Is
it.
this going to work? Is this not going to work?
Sometimes, why did we do this tonight?
Yeah.
Did that set? Is it set? Stop opening the door. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, we'll do Delta Diamond Chef. And this year it's a little bit different than what it was last year. And you know how it was last year because you were in it last year. And then you left us hanging this year by not doing it.
I didn't get invited this year. I think they were like, nah, screw that guy.
I don't think that's what it was at all. I do think they kind of expanded out on who they or who's involved. So Joshua Garland from Don's Social and Best Cafe in Hot Springs. And then Austin Bond from the Winthrop Rockefeller Center up at Petty Jean.
Yeah.
Joe from
Love Joe.
and Wendy and I. And
Saracen.
Matthias.
Matthias.
And originally, Kamaya from At the Corner was invited,
Oh, okay.
but she had something conflicting
Gotcha.
and was not able to participate.
They got a bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah, absolutely they do. They're opening another restaurant, and
Yeah.
they already have 2 restaurants, and then they have all of their catering and baking and things that they do, and
Yeah.
so it's. but it's this year the school is in session. Culinary school's going on.
Yeah.
So I think for us, it's a great opportunity to show some of these kids that are in school, they get to see all of the competition that's happening.
Yeah, that's really
because
cool.
it's the preliminaries are at the culinary school again this year, which is a phenomenal facility if anybody's never been out there. And then the finals are going to be in the new convention center at Saracen Casino in Pine Bluff.
That's awesome.
And it will be the top 2 go to the finals against last year's winner, Payne Harding from Cash.
Nice.
And so there'll be 3 people cooking to see who wins.
That's awesome.
And, I hope we're one of them that gets to cook again.
I'm not asking you to say anything. I wouldn't want you to, but do you know what you're making?
Oh yeah,
Of course.
Yeah. And you just,
Practice.
just practice and practice.
yeah, practice.
Yeah. And we've modified it a couple times and, time it out because you have 40 minutes to cook and you have to present 6 plates and then it's 40 minutes to cook, 10 minutes to plate. So 50 minutes total.
And it's not a lot.
No, that's not a lot at all, especially when you're supposed to demonstrate technique and, you have to show that you know the skills because they kind of base it off of American Culinary Federation competition rules. And so that's very technique based. Wendy can tell you all about it. She's competed in it
Yeah.
so many times all across the country. And but it's a lot of fun.
It's fun.
And it's good for the industry.
Yeah,
I know
for
that,
sure.
we talk about that a lot and people are like, oh, they're just saying that. I'm sure they are, but it's we wouldn't be in the positions we are if it wasn't for growing the industry. Because I've been in the industry 27, 28 years almost.
Yeah.
And from what it is today to when I started, there's no comparison. It's totally different. Totally different and so much better.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And, it's so funny, too, how the industry has changed over the years. Not just like different positions, but like, again, people were doing different things. And then, a few years ago, we had a little thing called COVID and that kind of changed the industry. So, we talk about we use the word pivot all the time. And that's what this industry is about. Is you're constantly pivoting. And forming relationships, not just, with people, but I mean, we're sitting here at Benny Keith, relationships with your salespeople and your distributors and all that stuff. I mean, it's a lot. And I think now relationships are more important than ever as far as the restaurant business goes, And I think you see a lot of that too, like building a new spot. You see what relationships are all about,
Yeah.
For sure. They say you find out who your friends are when you move.
Yeah, right.
Right. We've got some great flaky friends, though.
Yeah. I have so many friends that I've met in this business and so many regular customers that become family. I still talk to a lot of them from back home. They're 1,800 miles away and I still talk to some of my regulars from back home and they send me Christmas cards and we send them pictures of the kids and, all that stuff. It's just a great, it's such an amazing thing to be a part of. It really is,
Well, food is the one thing that brings everybody together.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah. So true.
It's that old cliche, I mean, people that eat are the best people. People that make food are the best people. I mean, it is what it is. And
comes from the heart, it's this is what we do. This is what we do. And, it's a passion that we get to share with everybody else, and, you guys are about to share it with a lot more people.
And it's crazy that we've been where we are, 3.5 years, and there's still people that come in and they go, we had no idea y'all were here.
Oh, yeah.
And, or people that, when we put out the announcement that we were moving, they were like, oh, we're so happy that you're moving to West Little Rock, blah, blah, blah. We're here. We're here. And, we started out really small, taking stuff to Me and McGee Market or out to Bramble or out, over at the filling station and that type of, oh, we loved your stuff when you were at the filling station. We loved it when you were bringing, when you would bring and set the truck up over there, and we can't wait for you to have a place.
Yeah.
What, we disappeared for 3 years, I guess.
Yeah, I guess
so,
we just weren't. Yeah.
But people are really excited, and that makes us excited. We're ready to, we're ready to make a move.
Yeah.
So it's time. It's time for us to grow, and it's going to give us a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
So, and
Absolutely.
we're thankful for that, and very grateful for all the people that have supported us and are on board, and
Yeah.
and the likes of you and our, this community is so amazing. When we started doing this, we went over to see Community Bakery when they opened up on Market Street, and John was in there, and he was like, "Oh my gosh," and we took pictures and posted it and all this, and he's like, "You got to talk to Julie." And so one of our bakery cases, our new bakery cases that we're going to have in the new place, Community Bakery is giving to us.
Oh, that's
from
awesome.
their stash of things that they have from through the years. And it's a mid-century modern bakery case from probably mid-50s. I mean, it's beautiful.
That is awesome.
And
Perfect. It does need some work, which we're going to do. So that's
Yeah.
going to be fun.
yeah, but 15 years ago, it was such competition
Yeah.
to, whoever it was, they wouldn't dream of doing that.
Yeah.
And, when we opened the coffee shop downtown, Nexus was just incredible. And even when we were opening in West Little Rock,
Original spot.
Amy was like, "Hey, I've got this, y'all come get it. You're welcome to it." And she gave us so much just stuff that they
Right.
were not using anymore. And some of it we still have now.
That's
I mean, and it's just the community that we're in Central Arkansas is just incredible.
Yeah.
And while, we can't always, "Hey, Brian, how you doing today?" It's because we're all just so busy.
Yeah.
And, but the camaraderie is always there.
And that's how you can that's how you can tell friends, you always just pick up where you left off. That's the thing. And everybody, like you said, is so busy. Like when I told everybody back home that I was moving down here to Little Rock, and they were like, "Well, what's the food scene like?" And I was like, honestly, I don't really know. And then I got here, and then like after a month, I was like, it's good. Like it's big, and it's getting better. And I've only been here, January would be 6 years, and the amount of growth that has happened in the last 6 years has been astonishing. I mean, it is crazy what's happening down here. And I mean, it's a sleeper. Now we have people like coming through, and they're like, "Yeah, we never knew. We just never knew. We never knew." So, and I mean, we're lucky enough to be in Argenta, but West Little Rock is blowing up. There's a lot going over there. I mean, it's everywhere right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's really good.
Yeah.
That's
Well, and 15, 20 years ago, it was all chain restaurants.
yeah.
And so this is, I mean, and don't get me wrong, there was always a few, mom and pop places and quite a few that have been here forever. Capers, for instance, was there
Yeah.
for 28 years. Trios has been there almost 40 years.
Yeah.
Scallions in the Heights has been there, I can't even begin to tell you how long, over 35 years. And, there's a lot of little places like that have been around for a long time. But these newer restaurants, Brood and Barley and Us and Raduno and the Fold, and that's all been in the past 15 years.
Yeah.
Because prior, if you came to Little Rock or if you lived in Little Rock, you went to chain restaurants
Yeah.
because that's what it was,
That's what it was,
and that's
yeah.
what was known. But now it's it's way different.
Yeah.
It's way different.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Happy to be a part of it for sure. For sure. Yeah, that's a booming. Well, I'm always here if you need anything.
Of course.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Don't hesitate to pick up the phone. We all have a lot of stuff going on, but we always make time. We'll figure it out.
And we're painting in 3 weeks. Are you coming?
No. Although
Come on, why
it's-
not?
It's funny though because my buddy back home was like, "Dude, I really need help painting my basement." I was like, "Man, why are you asking me that?" It's like, and it's not like my best friend that I grew up with, you know. So I was like, "All right, I'll come. I guess, you know, I will come help you paint if you need me to. I
Right.
will.
Yeah.
I will."
I think we've had that covered. I think we're good.
So we would, you know, I mean, when we start setting up this kitchen and everything, we have equipment that we're going to get rid of. We have equipment that we're going to move in, and you know, our little 24-inch flat top that we have currently in our little space is not going to work for what we're doing. And and it's such an interesting building, the way that it's set up and has been designed. So like the main restaurant where you walk in is, you know, it's one level, and then you walk to the back, and then you're 4 steps down into the kitchen. And so, like, the expo window is about mid-thigh.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
On the server side.
On the server side, the expo window is about mid-thigh, and then you're down in the kitchen, and you're putting it up, you know, 4 feet to get it to the window. And then you walk out the side door to the market, and it's down another 4 steps.
Oh wow.
So, but it was a home.
Yeah.
It was the landlord. It was her grandparents' home, and then it was a church, and then it was then it was her mother's antique store, and then it was Capers for 28 years, and so it's a home.
Yeah.
I mean, it's somebody's house, and you know that feels good to us.
The floors still creak when you walk in.
Yeah.
We like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, and it's the original, you know, white pine 1-inch wood floors all the way throughout.
Like the old hiss of a record player. Something about it. There. You know? You kind of feel it when you walk in the door. That's awesome. I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Really, really appreciate it. I'll be out there. And yes, as you know, I'm here if you need me. Super cool. I'm excited for you. 100%.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Well, I'd like to thank Rusty Mathis, GM over here, and of course, Rob Nelson for making us sound good. Thank you, Rob. We appreciate you more than you know. You can find this episode or any episode of Heaping Spoonful on Apple or Pandora or Spotify or wherever you do your podcasting at. And if you're interested in being on the show, hit us up. All right, that's it for this episode of Heaping Spoonful.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Heaping Spoonful. On behalf of all of us at Benny Keith Foods, Mid-South Division, please know how much we love connecting you with the legends of the culinary scene and their unique stories. I look forward to the next time we can offer you another Heaping Spoonful.